Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, it really means a lot. So today's episode, I said to you a while back that I had a new recreation project up my sleeve, and today I'm going to show you what it is. So I decided to do something not too complicated and something that I would enjoy building, and that is going to be Kingda Car, which is in Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. I've ridden this coaster, it was my number one for a few years. It's a really great ride. It's not too complicated. The layout is obviously just a straight out top hat and a camelback big airtime hill on the way back, and so very easy to create within the game. I'm just going to go in and do the layout first. My first problem I had was the launch. Now I wanted to have the I didn't want to use the hydraulic launch because in real life each section of track going down the launch is different colored. It goes to like turquoise to a darker color, and then turquoise to a darker color the whole way down. And when you put in a hydraulic launch section on the coaster, it's one piece of track and you can't recolor the sections on it. So I tried to figure out other ways to do that, and I tried to use the chain lift and crank up the chain speed using the Coaster Anarchy mod, but that wasn't really working out either because it messed up the block brake system. And so yeah, it was a bit of trial and error. In the end I go for the hydraulic, and I figure a way out to do the colors, the different colors down the launch track. So you'll see that later on, but the layout is pretty much done here. I'm gonna save that as a blueprint like I always do and move it into a scenario where I can then shape the land out to make a little area for this coaster. Now you might be wondering how I do that. How do I measure out the land? So I'm just going to show you quickly. I like to put down path, and then I color each 10 tiles a different color. So go red, dark, and then I count the sections of 10. And then when I open up the scenario editor, I can then see, I can type in the amount of tiles that I counted, and then I get a perfect sized scenario. So I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit, put in those numbers there, and there we go. And then I can put in the track just there. I did make one mistake, and that was I didn't make the height of the building allowance high enough. So I did run into a bit of trouble when doing the support work, but I correct that later on off camera, so you don't need to worry about it. So it's all looking good. So I'm going to go in now and basically start the main structure. This isn't the complete structure today, but I get the main chunk of it done. And it's basically this kind of triangle structure shape which supports the top hat of Kingda Car. And so I'm using the mod, the supports mod, and I'm just trying to figure out which angle I should use and what suits it best. The shallower angle there was actually a bit weird looking, as because the ride is so high, it was too many segments. And I'd rather have a couple less segments than too many, as it will look a bit strange. So I've gone for this steep angle, and I'm just making one section, and then what I should do is save that as a blueprint, and then I can copy and paste it on top of each other, so I don't have to really go in and build every single part of this structure tower, because it does just repeat. But before I do that, I am actually going to go in and put all the details on each bit first, meaning that when I do put each segment in, the details are already done for me. So that includes this maintenance elevator tower, which I'm just using this kind of frame piece from the architect toolkit, or toolbox, whatever you call it. I put some catwalks on there. There's a little door as well, which I did manage to see on a picture of the real thing. And then obviously there are a couple of spotlights which will kind of shine at night time on each part of the tower. And obviously not forgetting as well, this Kingda Car actually has the Zumanjaro Drop of Doom attached to the front of it. So I will go ahead as well and include that, otherwise it wouldn't be a real recreation. So I'm gonna fake the drop tower and actually do it out of scenery pieces. So I'm going to put in these beams here. I've kind of matched the colors up to be like the real thing, and I'm just kind of laying down where I think they should go, and then I'm just going to build the tower up to the first section. Again, when I copy the blueprint and place each one down, the parts of the drop tower will also be copied, so I don't have to go in and build the whole thing. So I've really saved myself a lot of time with doing that kind of method. I'm just going to put a few details on here, and then once the segments are actually in place, I will go ahead and put the white brake fins on the bottom of the tower. If I put those in now, then I'll have brake fins on every section, and that wouldn't be correct. So I'm just going to go in and just add a little details here. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this episode. I hope you're going to enjoy this project. I know some of you out there have been asking me to do more recreations, so I'm going to tackle a few. So I'm starting off obviously with King Car, and then after this one I'm going to try and do another one. I think I am quite enjoying them at the moment, and I'm not really in the mood for doing full-size big parks right now. I've obviously got the water park project going on, but I'm really interested and happy with doing these kind of small recreations. I say small, they're not really small, but yeah. This Kingdom Car project, I do want to try and get it as accurate as possible. Same as always, I'm going to use images from Google Earth and different photographs that I found on Google, and just kind of put together what I see and try and make it as accurate as I can. Obviously, like I always say, in some places I do have to have a bit of artistic license with things just because I'm not quite sure with how some things are. But I am going to try and recreate this as much as I can. Basically the Golden Kingdom area, which is where Kingdom Car is with the Drop of Doom. There's a few shops, a few little stalls outside the front of the station, and I'm going to try and recreate all of that, including all the ground textures and the way the foliage is. So I will go in and do everything. This project didn't take me as long as say like Maverick or Raptor, because it is not such a big ride. I mean, there's not a lot of support work to do. It's just this main kind of chunk part of this top hat, and then there's just a few more supports on the airtime hill, and that's it. Whereas some of the other coaster projects that I've done, you really have to go around the whole ride and support every little bit, and it really takes a long time. So this didn't take me too long at all, to be honest, and it's definitely something that you would be able to do as well, because it wasn't too complicated at all. And so definitely, if you want to go in and build like a Top Thrill Dragster style ride, it's definitely doable. But I will pop this on the Steamworks shop once I've finished it for you guys to download as well, as always. So I'm just getting rid of some of the supports there using the trees, and now I'm going into the CTS mod set where they have pieces of the cars from the coasters. And I thought it'd be great to put in the Flawless coaster here, the train to act as the Zumanjaro cars. So I've just put those there, which I think looks really cool. So I'm really happy with how that looks. Now I'm going in with the terrain painting, and I just like to kind of sketch in like you would on paper, just kind of where some little things go, where the paths go, where some of the grey kind of concrete areas will be, kind of what I'm looking at Google Earth. I just kind of like to sketch it out roughly just for later on, so I have a bit of a reference. Then using the black terrain painting, I'm just going to go in and put down where some of the buildings and things will go for later on. So when I come back to the project after I had a few days not working on it, I can kind of see where I want to put things, and things are kind of prepared and ready for me to go in and do. That way I find it saves a bit of time and also makes the process a lot easier. So to finish the episode today, I'm going to go in and do the transfer track area. So I'm just using, again, pieces from the CTS mod set, which is the little coaster segments and trains. And I'm just going in using the beams from that as well, and just making a nice little transfer area. Strange on Kingdom Car, actually, the transfer track area is at the beginning of the launch, and normally you find the transfer area on most coasters is actually at the end of the ride, just before the station. It's not the case of all coasters, but definitely with most of them. And Kingdom Car has the transfer track at the beginning of the ride, just after the station. So this is how I get around the color problem for the launch. As you can see right now, I've got the chain tire launch going on there, which is not what I really want. I will put in the hydraulic, but I decided that I could use the catwalk pieces along the side of the track and actually color those to match the correct colors. So it does go turquoise, then green, turquoise, then green. So if you're wondering why I've got the tire launch there, that will change. I will put in the hydraulic launch, and then the catwalks will act as the color changes throughout that launch track. I know it's not really like a big thing, but to me it was like an iconic look for the ride, and I definitely had to include it somehow. And to not do it on the launch would be a bit odd, I think. It's like on Top Thrill Dragster, how it goes red, white the whole way along, and it's really hard to do that on these coasters because you can't actually do it. So I did find a way to get around it. So that's basically the trains running around, and basically what I've done today is almost finished. So thanks for watching. I really do appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out with my channel and watching my videos. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this so far, and if you want to see more. And don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already. But yeah, I'll be back with you next week with more episodes of Kingdom Car. And don't forget to check out some of my other projects that I've got going on. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.